What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. This video will be about 5 things that I just wasn't ready for when it came to divorce. I am ready to open up about this topic. I feel like for many different reasons. I didn't talk about it like openly, and I think my main reason is just because when you go through things or when you're growing through things, you need time to like process things in order to understand how you feel or really like kind of understand the lessons. Don't think that this is going to be one of those videos. This is not a bitter video. I strive to not be anything like the generations that I've seen before me. And so if you want that, you gotta go somewhere else to get it. The first thing that I just flat out was not ready for is how the power of a made-up mind creates a mental shift in all aspects of my life. When I have a made-up mind, I can't just have a made-up mind when it comes to like a failed marriage. I have to apply what my mind is made up about to all things. And I guess you can call that learning your boundaries or having standards. It all ties in together. And I wasn't really ready. I thought I was just making a decision to leave that aspect of my life, but I didn't understand how when I elevated what I expect out of relationships, out of love, out of friendships, I didn't know that it was going to impact everything. Having a made-up mind allowed me to center the focus on me, and it was a direct reflection of all of the things that I needed to heal. It allowed me to understand how when I take away my energy from these dead spaces, that it's nothing left but me. I started out like my healing journey, and I really wanted to learn how to like master my emotions, and I wanted to kind of like understand myself. I gotta be real about it because we be knowing, but we still make decisions. Before I got married, maybe like 2 years before, I left my home environment. And before that, I was always jumping from place to place. Like, I'm a runaway, I'm a true gypsy. Like, that's just, it is what it is. And so marriage kind of allowed me to stop running. That's unfortunate because when you have a really, really bad perception of what love is, then you would be willing to take whatever it is that you can get. And I'm not saying that people don't love you with their whole heart. I honestly believe that they love you at their highest capacity. That doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't enough, but inside of me, I had things that I had to work on, and I had to reevaluate and determine what's true. I ended up saying, hey, I don't want to be a doormat anymore in this aspect of my life. And then I ended up developing boundaries to no longer be a doormat in any aspect of my life. And I'm so thankful for my journey. When you decide you want a divorce, you can't just be like, all right, peace, I'm out. Some people can, but I wasn't in that type of situation where I could just roll out. And so I began to talk to many different like family members, and one conversation that I'll never forget, one of my family members spoke on how many times he felt like his mother was weak and how many times she didn't stand up for herself. He said that sometimes I just wanted to be like, man, why you act so effing weak? And when I thought about that, I thought like this whole time I'm trying to keep the family together, but in all actuality, I'm being very, very weak. So many women rest in a state of weakness to be the head of the family and keep everybody together, and people just flat out ain't doing right. And I realized like I want my son to see me as someone that is strong. I want my son to see me in an environment where we can relax and have fun and not have to worry about other things or other conversations or arguments or expectations. Like, we just don't have to worry about that. We can do us. I wanted my son to see that. I wanted my son to see me resting. Y'all don't know how busy I used to be, just juggling so much by myself. And it's like I have to do so much by myself. that I might as well keep on while I'm alone. And like that just goes out to people that do feel single while they're in like a marriage or a relationship. Before I had that made up mind, I didn't necessarily have a strong way that I wanted to be perceived by my son. I spent a lot of time like, how much more can I endure to keep us together? And that was just, once I heard my family members say that, I was like, you know what? I want to be strong, not in a way where I'm masculine. I want to be strong to where I'm feminine, I'm in control, not so much as like of others or whatever, but control over my emotions. I'm able to rest because I have a retrospect for life. I have respect for myself. I have things in order with me. And so I wasn't really ready for that. The third thing that I wasn't ready for, y'all. I entered therapy focusing on ways to be a better doormat, or ways to kind of like heal past things that I didn't really understand or didn't really know like what existed. I did not know that it was gonna go from how to be a better doormat to how to center myself and focus on myself and achieve the life that I desire. Forget all that. What are you gonna do? And my first therapist, I loved her. She helped me like kind of like understand that I'm not tripping. I be tripping, but I'm not tripping. Having a Black therapist impacted my life in ways that I thank y'all for going to school to be a therapist, because I don't know how I would do without y'all. Because it was just like the way that she would talk to me, the way that she would interpret the things that I'm saying. And if any self-doubt, she would take it away, wrap it up and say, this is what you're doing. This is what I want you to go home and do. I was not ready for how it ended. And I was able to achieve so many wonderful things for me. Ultimately, my son was proud of me. I was proud of myself. I learned how to create a vision for love, self-love, and like a vision for myself. I went down a rabbit hole one day and being smacked in the face with, if this love doesn't make me happy, what about me attracted me to this type of love? So that really took some reflecting, and it took so much honesty for things that I was embarrassed about. Like, yeah, I did that, or yeah, I accepted that, or yeah, this is how I played a part in this whole thing. Like, I wasn't ready for all that. The fourth thing that I was not ready for was how many people took me for a joke. Like, people thought I was playing. Y'all, when I make up my mind about something, I literally don't be playing. So like, people that I trusted and that I love would say certain things to me like, well, how you gonna do that? Or like, I think you serious. Like, you gotta seek support from people who gracefully and maturely left certain situations. So you can't talk to everybody about everything, and I realized that shit too. Even if they are really, really close to you, like, no, just like, come on. Why would you say that to me? I wasn't ready to be the sad friend. Like, I was always the sad friend. Like, damn. Deciding that I no longer want to be the sad friend was also something that I wasn't necessarily ready for. I don't want it to be like the therapy friend, or I don't want to be the sad, let's talk it out. Like, I don't really like that. My friends were there for me when it came to like conversing, letting me come over to their house, eating with them, drinking wine with them, chilling with them, listening to music with them. Like, they really did have my back. However, I was the only one out of my friends that was married. If I could do things differently, I would. Let's just leave it at that. Something else that I wasn't ready for was just how, and this is still like the fourth thing, but I wasn't ready for how like painful it is for a man to really play with you for as long as you let them play with you. If you be like, yeah, you can play with me for 50 years, they're gonna see if they can play with you for 51 years. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, men really won't leave women alone. Like, if you leave the door open, a man will always be there. So a lot of people brag like, your man be calling my phone. That's embarrassing. Like, even though that was like a whole marriage, no, I had to develop strong boundaries. And I had to reiterate boundaries.
Go home, Roger.
I had to like really don't fucking play with me. Like I'm not.
Cause why people keep playing with me? Like I don't really like.
I've never set boundaries so strong ever in my life. The last thing that I was just flat out not ready for when it came to divorce is learning to think for myself. And I'm an adult. I am a responsible adult. I am able to make good choices and things like that. So it's not like something is wrong with me. But when you spend a massive amount of time living for others, trying to please others, placing your energy in the hands of others, you tend to put people first and seek happiness out of putting others first. And it got to the point where we decided to share custody. And so on my weeks when my son wasn't with me, I realized that I don't know how to think for myself. Like, well, what do I want to eat? What do I want to do today? Where do I want to go? You don't know how to think for yourself. You don't know what it's like to just be. And the next day you don't have to worry about, y'all, I was a newborn baby. I didn't know what to do. With my new love interest, it's like, although I have time, I can't make him the center of my time. I have to learn how to think for myself. And that was such a wonderful experience because people would see me going places. They're like, oh, you never hit me up. You never do this. You never do that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm learning how to think for myself. I'm learning how to do me. I'm learning how to seek fulfillment in the things that I want to do for myself. This is what it looked like when you're learning to think for yourself and do for yourself and love on yourself. And so I left my job and I decided, because I have all these boundaries in my life and I'm being intentional about my life, like I can't do nothing that I don't want to do. I can't be nowhere that I don't want to be. I can't be around nobody that I don't want to be around. I can't do any of these things anymore. And it got to the point where I was like Stonewall Jackson. I can't do anything that throw me off, anything that made me go too many times. Nope, I can't do it. And I'm like in a supreme mode of solitude where I'm literally honoring myself on every level. I don't care. I'm not going to be wondering, what's this, what's that, why they do this, why they do that. No. I learned a lot. Anything that you have to question, leave it alone. Any place that you are that doesn't feel like home, leave. If you have people in your life that have been in your life for an extended period of time and it's just no longer fulfilling, go. Because they're gonna leave you if they need to. And it's never beef or a hard feeling or anything like that. I understand expiration dates, so that's why I'm filled with love until I can't love anymore. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this or took something from it. Remember to stay grounded. Thanks for watching. Peace.